It is RM time with Casey.
Hey.
Yo, you're the rap monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the relationship matters guy.
That's right. Okay, I was going to have to drop a beat and drop a rhyme for a second, but I'm glad you rescued me. Yeah, no, don't do it.
Oh, come on.
If I rap on the spot, you will cry.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
Okay, I don't want to cry today.
No, don't cry. It's already crying in the sky.
Yeah, the sky is crying.
Yeah.
All right, Casey, how are you doing?
Good. Kind of. Kind of. Yeah, kind
Why?
of. I had a little bit of difficulty over the weekend.
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to be honest. It was a long weekend.
Uh-huh.
The kids were home for 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
And I've got young children, in case our listeners don't know. One is he's going to turn 7 in July, and the other is 3. And they were both sick.
Oh, no.
So there goes like Children's Day plans.
Oh,
you know what I
man.
mean? So we had to spend a lot of time indoors.
Oh.
Also, it rained all day on Sunday. That didn't help, right?
Yeah. Oh.
So this weekend, I was kind of like, I got to experience something that I haven't realized how bad it can be. But do you ever find yourself repeating the same thing over and over again to somebody? Do you ever
Like saying something
Yeah.
over and over again? Like,
telling them to do something or asking them to do something? Or
ooh.
you probably don't have to deal with that, do you?
Yeah, not yet. I guess because I don't have kids. And maybe, you're going to be talking about that today, huh?
Yeah. It was a little
sometimes-
tough over the weekend.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this difficulty stuff.
Well, basically, because we were in the house together most of the weekend, there was, just like simple things that we need to do every day, like brush your teeth. Doesn't seem like a big deal, right? You'd figure you're 3, you can do it by yourself.
to sleep yet.
Oh, going to bed.
Yeah.
Waking up, I don't care if they wake up late on
Really?
yeah.
on like a holiday. Yeah,
Sure. Because I want to wake up late too.
Mm-hmm.
But eat.
Yeah.
Eat, please.
다 먹어야 돼.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was this kind of stuff, and it was like 3 days in a row of like, oh wow, I haven't realized in a while like my kids really don't listen to me that much because on a daily basis, their mom does a lot of that stuff in the morning because maybe I'm already on the way to work or whatnot. So
You took it for granted.
I did,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to like bang my head into the wall, so I was like. Oh, and my wife actually, she asked me too. She was like, can you kind of just, do a little bit of research, see what you can find? Like, apparently we're not doing something right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're both having a little bit of difficulty. And I don't know about you, but do you ever find yourself in the situation where you have to repeat yourself more than once? Never, right?
I mean, when I'm talking to select friends,
You got friends like that. Sure.
Yeah, who might be doing multiple things at the same time. They're
Talking
really
to a
good.
chatbot at the same time.
Yeah, multitasker, right? Yeah, and if they're not 100% listening to me, they might have missed something. I'm
Right.
Like, what was that? And I'll have to repeat.
And it's annoying.
It can get annoying.
It can get annoying, but
I won't lie. Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is, like, the more you do it, the more you kind of find yourself losing your patience. So that's why I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to do my best. Over the weekend, I did a little bit of research, and I've been reading about this stuff quite often, to be
I'm
honest.
interested in this. So do you kind of warn them? Like, I'm only going to tell you twice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only
yeah.
going to tell you 3 times.
Yes, and this. So what I found, basically, is there's a big difference between what is known as discipline and what is known as punishment. And I guess maybe a lot of parents know this, but you were talking earlier during the news about there's a class where you can learn how to be a good parent. I think I need to do that.
It's for parents with 3 to 5-year-old kids.
I got one.
Yeah.
I can do it.
You should definitely go in.
And I think any parent should feel okay about saying, like, you know what? I need a little help. I am not exactly sure that I know the right thing to do in this situation.
Right, for sure. Unless you've had like 20 kids,
Trust me, my grandparents had 7 kids. They didn't get any better at it. There was a lot of yelling in that house when I was young.
Yeah, so it's all a learning curve and every kid is different, right?
Yeah, so it is, the internet can be a great resource, but like you said, like those chatbots too, those make mistakes, right? The internet is full of mistaken ideas, because there's a lot of people who just put their ideas out there and you don't know who they are. So I was careful to research. I went to the Cleveland Clinic, which is kind of like a well-known, not only a hospital, but a children's hospital as well. And I found one of their just kind of short articles about top do's and don'ts when your kids won't listen. So this is what I kind of used as my guide over the weekend, and I was like, I'm doing a lot of things wrong.
Okay.
Shall I share?
Yes, please.
Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of things where just basic stuff, brushing their teeth, cleaning up after themselves. You know, the house, I don't want to step on those sharp little things that you
Right,
put
the
together.
blocks, yeah.
Thank you.
The building blocks.
That's right.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m, when you step on one, you want to break everything.
Yeah, you'll be like, ow!
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It sounds like a party, but it's not.
No, it's not. Yeah, you're
No.
going to be waking up everybody, the whole apartment.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've just like bit my tongue, like, oh.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, right? And like you mentioned, there's a lot of things that people do. The counting, 하나, 둘, and then if you go to 3, there's going to be trouble, right?
Yes.
But all of this kind of like doesn't work, and the reason is a lot of these things fit into the category of punishment. And the number one thing that they said in this article is don't view discipline as punishment. And I was like, I don't know if I know the difference.
Yeah.
They say like discipline may feel as though you're punishing your kids, but discipline is more of a means of actively engaging with kids. The idea is you're helping them build their moral character or teaching them right from wrong.
Okay.
And this is a skill that's vital to functioning in society. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a little bit of pressure, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if I fail at this, my kids are just gonna like not be members of society.
They can't fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I need to understand what discipline and punishment are then, because
Right.
I didn't know the difference. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm maybe in the gray area as well, so maybe you can enlighten us.
Okay, so the easiest explanation I found is like punishment is like kind of either giving some kind of penalty or some kind of loss of privilege, and it's kind of like retribution. In other words, it's like you do something wrong's going to happen to you, right? Something you don't like is coming.
It's like threatening almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is, yeah. In a lot of cases, it is a threat. And a lot of times, punishment is done in a threatening way. Whereas discipline, on the other hand, it takes a little bit more work and maybe is not as easy to pull off at first. But discipline, you're presenting choices and consequences. You follow me?
Yeah, so you're giving them options.
Right.
Okay.
And therefore, even at a young age, kids are kind of in control and they can feel that difference.
Oh.
So punishment, a lot of times you're going to use a sense of fear or, you know what I mean? Or like some kind of anger, right? Some kind of like negative emotion, whereas discipline, you don't want to do that at all.
So like a kid won't be, you told your son to brush his teeth.
Right.
But then you could either do retribution, where be like, if you don't brush your teeth, you're going to be in trouble.
Right.
Or discipline, if you brush your teeth now, you can sleep early, and tomorrow you can eat something good.
Sure. Like
I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, not bad.
That's
not,
the right track?
Not bad.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So basically, another key point is like for discipline to work well, there should be a connection between the choice and the consequence. Like, so if you don't brush your teeth, no books. Well, why? What does reading have to do with brushing your teeth?
Yeah, okay.
Right? So it's just like a penalty, right? But if you present it in this way, like, okay, well, if you don't brush your teeth, you're going to have to go to school like that, and you know you're going to be a little smelly. And are you okay with that? Like your classmates might be like, oh, you know, like, and I did that this morning.
Okay,
my-
something where kids can relate more.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they kind of understand like, oh, it's my choice. And if I choose this, this will be the outcome.
Okay.
And so, you know, they said this even works. One of the biggest problems we have every day is getting the kids out of the door on time. To get them ready to go to school on time so that they're not late.
Yeah.
And
That's even hard for me too.
me too, personally. So I feel sometimes like a
always rushing.
hypocrite.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I'm like, I can't do this myself. How do I expect you to do this?
Yeah.
You know, I'm supposed to be guiding you. But yeah, this is key. If you use this kind of, and they often call it positive discipline as versus negative discipline. If you use this kind of like positive idea and you're just presenting consequences, it's going to, in the long run, benefit both you and your child and your relationship. You won't have this kind of power struggle all the time where like, I'm telling you to do this and why are you not following me? And then, you know, your child maybe is like, well, you're angry. I don't want to listen to you. You know, there's a lot of things that go on.
Yeah.
So you're trying to avoid all that.
Okay.
So, you know, instead of like, 그만해.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of that,
말 들어.
말 들어.
Yeah.
왜 말 안 들어?
Yeah.
I've learned so much Korean from that. Like I've learned like those kind of Korean
Sure.
from hearing it in my household. So instead of that, yeah. So I'll give you an example. We have an issue with eating with our young one lately. She's 3, so she's 3. She doesn't kind of get it. You know, like eating is good for you and you need to eat to be healthy, right? But you can explain that all day long. It's not going to really sink in, right?
Yeah.
So they gave an example. Let's say you've got a really young child who's playing with the food instead of eating. Instead of getting upset and instead of being like, 다시 그렇게 하면 혼난다.
Yeah.
Instead of that,
Yeah.
you know, just be really gentle, use a loving voice and like, all done? And then you take the child out of the chair and then show that, when you're playing with your food, that means you're done. You're not eating anymore. And then if you do that a couple times, the kid's going to get the message like, that means no more food. So again, it's like the child can choose to do that,
Yeah.
but the consequence will be, food time is done.
Right. So you gotta like really tell yourself not to do what you want to do,
Right.
but try to think outside the box to see how the kid will react.
Yeah.
It takes extra thinking.
It does, and
Yeah.
it takes the biggest thing is it takes extra patience, and
For
that's
sure.
where my wife and I were kind of struggling at like after a 3-day weekend, all cooped up in the house with 2 kids that are sick.
Yeah.
It was hard to be patient.
Oh, I feel like these parental education,
Yeah.
how to better take care of your child,
Yeah.
these education lectures are
Right.
must go to for parents.
I'm serious. When you were talking about that during the news, I was like, I should ask about how do I contact there?
Yeah.
Like.
I'll give you more info. I'll give you
Yeah,
that
and is it
screenshot.
only in Korean? I need to find out because I might be like, oh.
Yeah, you can go with your wife. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great idea too. Like go together because a lot of times, a lot of these responsibilities unfortunately fall on one parent more than the other. And that's why I think this past weekend was a good reminder like, this is what my wife has to deal with every day.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing it, these 3 days in a row.
So did you kind of appreciate her more?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Buy her flowers and gifts?
Yeah, I'm going to do it today.
Kidding,
David,
no
thank
pressure.
you.
No pressure. Yeah,
Good
sorry.
idea. Good idea. No, good idea, buddy. I'm going to use that.
Okay.
But yeah, so one thing that they also say is like, it's not only about being positive in negative situations, but be positive in positive situations too. You got to make sure to praise your kids when they do the right
Sure.
thing.
Okay, like saying good things like, good job, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is that 칭찬하는 거, right? Yeah, so that's really important.
Positive for positive reinforcement or positive reinforcement for positive things.
Exactly. And when you do that, your child will kind of notice that, I'm doing the right thing now. And, they'll want to get that positive feedback again. So they will try to do the right thing as much as possible.
Right.
They said that this can actually help mold your child's behavior, which is kind of what we're trying to do, right? But it also can help build their confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
Which I'm a little worried about. Because, I send my son, my oldest, he's 7 now, he's in school. And I send him to school and I'm kind of like, well, what happens for the rest of the, I don't know. Is he having, good relationships with friends?
Yeah.
How does he feel? Does he
Right.
feel confident? And there's a lot of that I just kind of don't know. So if there's something I can do to ensure that, I want to do it.
Does he talk to you ever about those things?
I do ask.
Yeah.
I do ask, like, hey, and I call him Buddy a lot. I do call him Buddy a lot. I say, hey, Buddy, how was your day today? Did you have a good day? Did you play with somebody? Who are your friends?
Yeah.
But he's very short with his answers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
If you call him buddy, does he call you buddy?
No.
Okay.
And you know what? There's another piece of advice that they had in this article that was like, be clear. You are not your friend's, you're not your child's friend.
Exactly.
You are their parents. So
Yeah.
I was like, should I not call him buddy? But
Yeah.
it's just a habit.
Okay.
But he doesn't know. He calls me daddy.
Oh, that's good.
He knows.
All right.
Look at you
Thankfully.
can tell my authority, right?
Yeah.
I've got authority.
Dad look.
Yeah, I've got the dad look.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for coming in today and giving us relationship advice about how to, not handle your kids, but how to really
handle
build
yourself.
better relationship with your kids.
Yeah, right. Really,
Yeah.
how to handle yourself.
Yeah.
Like, keep it positive as much as possible. Don't let negative emotions affect how you interact with your child. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. So,
don't
yeah.
let the emotions get the better of you.
혼내지 마세요.
Nah, don't do that ever.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in. You have a good day, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week will be better, I'm sure.
Huh? You're already good.
Oh, thank you. Well, we'll see what
always.
my kids say.
About you.
Yeah.
From your kids' point of view.
Yeah, I will ask them.
All right.
How did Daddy do this week?
Evaluate my performance.
Yeah, check. Yes. We'll see.
All right. See you later, Casey.
Bye-bye, David.
Bye.